Hey guys, welcome back to the Ductless channel. Today we're covering Mitsubishi's new R454B 2-zone 20,000 BTU outdoor unit that's for multi-zones, but it's also a hyper heating outdoor unit, which means that it's providing both heating and cooling, but also providing heating in the most coldest and extreme climates in the United States. This is a outdoor unit that we sell at gotductless.com. If you're interested, if you're looking to find out more information about this outdoor unit, keep watching. We're gonna cover the features, the specs, the performance, and just maybe some of the questions that you might have we'll be able to answer here on this video. If you're interested in maybe knowing more about this product, maybe you need to learn more about the sizing of it, whether it's gonna be the best fit for you, you can always reach out to us at gotductless.com, comment down below, or reach out to us whether it's calling us, chatting us, emailing us through gotductless.com. We have over 100 years of experience in mini splits, and specifically Mitsubishi as well. And so we're able to help you no matter who you talk to over the phone at Ductless. All of us are seasoned, experienced mini split experts that can help you walk through it. So let's get started without further ado and cover the Mitsubishi 2-zone Hyper Heat multi-zone system. Before we get started, we just wanted to introduce ourselves. We're Ductless. We represent gotductless.com. We're an online mini split provider, so that means we sell and design mini splits for builders, contractors, engineers, architects, homeowners, whoever's working on a project that uses mini splits. Ductless partners with them to design the system and then deliver it with the accessories and anything else that is needed that's compatible with the appropriate equipment that you're looking for. So if you have any questions about this product or other Mitsubishi products or mini splits in general, we sell other brands on gotductless.com. We'd love to be able to assist you. So we just wanted to say that before we move into covering this outdoor unit. This MXZ-2D20NLHZ is a replacement of Mitsubishi's 2C20NAHZ, which was available in R410A refrigerant. Since the EPA required all ductless manufacturers and HVAC manufacturers to begin using a new A2L refrigerants, Mitsubishi chose to go with an R454B refrigerant that's future-proofing in case the EPA provides new quotas or new regulations. And so that's why they chose to go with R454B. But for this particular outdoor unit, it is a 2-zone system, so it's maxed to only 2 zones. Now, you might think, okay, I want to add one indoor unit now and one later. You have to add 2 indoor units connected to this outdoor unit at all times. That's the limitation. No matter what your plans are, you have to have 2 installed at the same time. So this particular outdoor unit is always going to have 2 units connected to it if you want it to operate from day one. Now, this is a hyper heating outdoor unit, which means that it's a heat pump, which is going to provide both cooling and heating. But for heating, it's going to provide you heating down to -13 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you're going to have most of the United States covered for this being a primary heat source. Maybe not in like the wilderness of Wyoming or somewhere else that's really, really remote up in the mountains where it could drop down below -13 degrees Fahrenheit. If you are in that situation, we'd recommend going with the Hyper Heat Sumos, which is single zone applications. It's not multi-zones. However, it does go down to -22 degrees Fahrenheit. You would have to split it up into multiple single zones. You can't consolidate it all into one multi-zone system like this one, but that's for those clients and customers that are in those really cold climates that are going to drop below -13 degrees Fahrenheit. But for in this case, this is going to operate 2 indoor units. It doesn't matter whether it's wall-mounted units or ceiling cassettes or ducted units. The ratings do matter, and the performances are going to be given different metrics and different outputs. However, you can mix and match. So you can put a floor-mounted unit and a wall-mounted unit connected to this one 2-zone system, and it will work perfectly fine. Now, you can separate it to have 2 single zones rather than on one multi-zone outdoor unit. The cost is going to be about the same. However, if you want to save space or maybe you don't have the space to have 2 outdoor units, the best option is to put this one outdoor unit connecting those 2 indoor units for you in your application. So then the other awesome features of this outdoor unit is that it is already ready for seacoast protection, which means that it can be installed next to any seacoast, any shoreline. So if you see here on the back, you have the exposed coil here. it has this bluish tint is because it already has that treatment on it. And so you can install this outdoor unit on a balcony that's facing the bay or an ocean, salt water, salt air, sulfurish air. That's all not going to be an issue with this outdoor unit, whereas other brands might have to require a certain treatment. This and all the other outdoor units that are available through Mitsubishi Electric are all already Seacoast protected, so you can rest assured that corrosion is not going to be an issue when it comes to this unit breaking down over time. Now, another great benefit is that this outdoor unit is super quiet. The decibel level of this outdoor unit when kicking is 51 to 53, depending on whether it's in heating and cooling. But that is extremely quiet as it compares to some of the other conventional outdoor units that are going to be around like 70 to 80 decibel levels. And so this is an extremely quiet outdoor unit, so you can put this on a patio, sit right next to it, have a normal conversation without having to raise your voice any louder when this unit kicks on. So it's extremely quiet. The last feature we want to mention about this outdoor unit is that it comes with a built-in baseband here at the bottom of the outdoor unit. Now, what does that actually do? That baseband heater will kick on whenever there's water or ice buildup. Typically, you're going to have condensation, no matter if it's hot outside, cold outside. Whenever this unit is working, it's going to be condensating on the coil here on the back and leaking down. And if it's freezing temperatures down below or in the climate that you're in, it could freeze into the coil, and then the coil's then having to be inefficient. It doesn't have the full surface area to operate. So that built-in baseband heater down below is going to make sure that this unit is going to have a full surface area to be able to extract heat and provide the conditioning that this unit is able to do. So another really great feature within Mitsubishi's new R54B series across all their Hyper Heat outdoor units is they have built-in baseband heaters already built in. Before, you had to have an additional accessory that had to be installed, and that would be a hassle. You'd have to get specific models, but now everything is built in, and it truly is ready for cold climates. No matter if you want the built-in baseband heater or you don't, it's already built in. So it's such a great benefit, and it pairs nicely, ready for cold climate heating wherever you are in the United States. Now that we covered some of the features, let's go over some of the specs and dimensions that could be most relevant to you. So we want to talk about the dimension here. So it's 37.5 inches wide. It's 13 inches deep here. So if you're putting it up against the wall, you want to leave a little bit of space behind the unit per what the manufacturer recommends. If it's on a bracket, typically that's going to be like 6 to 8 inches away from the wall. Or if you're installing it on the ground, you want at least 12 inches. As much airflow as you can get behind this coil, that's great. Sometimes that's limited when you have a wall bracket, but just ensure that you do have some airflow here for the back coil when installing this outdoor unit. But in terms of the height here, you're 31.5 inches tall. So if you're putting this under a deck, or if you're installing it somewhere where there might be a height restriction, just keep that in mind. It's 31.5 inches tall. It's a single fan here in the front that's covered by a grill. And so those are the main dimensions that we are mostly focused on when looking at this outdoor unit. It weighs 137 pounds. And like I mentioned, it does have two zones that can be connected here in the back. You can see you have your A ports and your B ports, and your line set restriction is 164 feet long. So combined between the two indoor units that are connected to this outdoor unit, you just want to make sure you're not exceeding 164 feet. Now that is 164 feet of pre-charged line set, so that means that this outdoor unit is pre-charged for up to 164 feet, which means that if you're installing these two indoor units, you don't have to add additional refrigerant, nor do you have to take refrigerant out if you're less than 164 feet. Let's say you only have 50 feet of line set, 25 and 25. You don't have to go in and recalibrate, take out refrigerant for whatever you don't need. This unit is able to modulate and be able to use whatever refrigerant it has to work with the amount of line set that you have up to 164 feet. Now this outdoor unit needs 20 amp service. So if you're running a 20 amp line from your breaker box to your disconnect box, and then you're using a whip to connect your disconnect box to your outdoor unit, you need 20 amp service, 2-pole of course, 2A230 to power this multi-zone 2-zone outdoor unit. Now to briefly talk about capacities, there are some limitations that we wanted to talk about. So for this 2-zone system, it's a common question that we get at Ductless, whether or not you can install two 6,000 BTUs or a 15 and a 6,000 BTU. That will add up to 21,000. So the minimum capacity on this 2-zone outdoor unit is 12,000 BTUs. So technically you can install two 6s on this 20,000 BTUs, but those two 6s are going to be working at maximum capacity just to maintain this minimum. This is a modulating inverter system, so it does fluctuate in capacity. However, it does have to output a minimum, and that minimum for this outdoor unit is 12,000 BTUs. Now the same is applied on a maximum capacity. So the maximum capacity on this outdoor unit is 24,000 BTUs. So you can technically contribute 12 and 12 in terms of indoor unit sizes to this outdoor unit. However, you can't exceed 24,000 BTUs. So keep that in mind when designing. So now that we've covered the specs and the dimensions, we wanted to move into the performance. Now this is where you're going to get your nuts and bolts. We're going to be looking at performance metrics. We're going to be looking at how efficient the systems are, what you can expect in terms of BTU capacity, outputs, both in cooling and heating and different temperatures. So we wanted to go over some of those performance metrics so that you understand what you're getting yourself into if you're kind of nerding out and or want to just understand what this outdoor unit is capable of. How does it actually perform at -5 or -13? When I actually need it, is it going to be able to sustain me so that this is a primary heat source when I need it most? So just to start, this outdoor unit, from a cooling standpoint, Mitsubishi provides some information when it comes to different temperatures that are outside, what you could expect this outdoor unit to do in terms of outputs. So at 95 degrees Fahrenheit outside, in terms of cooling outputs, this outdoor unit is going to be outputting 20,000 as a rated as also maximum output in terms of BTUs. And from a minimum standpoint, it's going to be 11,600. So from a heating standpoint, it's going to have a higher maximum, so it's going to be 25,000 BTUs of maximum heating capacity, but also on the minimum, it's 11,400. So it does have a wider range when it comes to heating outputs and what it's actually capable of doing. Now that 25,000 BTU maximum is not going to be your rated capacity, and we'll get into the actual efficiency ratings here soon, but if it's rated at, let's just say 19 SEER, and it's maximizing its heating output at 25,000 BTUs, it's actually going to be performing less than the 19 SEERs because it's rated at a 20,000 BTU output. So if looking at the outputs of heating in some of those colder temperatures, at -5 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to be outputting 22,000 BTUs of maximum heating output. And at -13 degrees, this 20,000 BTU outdoor unit is going to be maxing at 19,200 BTUs. So pretty close to that 20,000 range, but please remember that even though its maximum heating output is going to be 19,200, it's still not going to be performing at the SEER rating of 19 SEER. It'll be performing less than that. However, it's still capable of heating at those extreme cold temperatures. Now, if we're looking at the efficiency ratings, we have to look at three main metrics. That's going to be a SEER2 rating, an EER2 rating, and an HSPF2 rating. Now, SEER2 rating is a seasonal average, which means it's taking an average between heating and cooling BTU outputs as it compares to the consumption of electricity. So the higher the number, the more efficient the system is actually consuming and using the input of electricity as a ratio to how much BTUs it's able to output. So from a maximum standpoint, this is able to produce 19 plus SEER. And so from an EER2 standpoint, it's 13.5. And from a maximum HSPF2, it's 10. Now, there are 3 different metrics, and if you were to look at the cut sheets or the submittal sheets, you'd be able to see 3 separate types of performance metrics. Now, this is because you're going to have different efficiency ratings based on the combination or the selection of indoor units that you choose to connect to this outdoor unit. So the highest SEER ratings, or the highest efficiency ratings, or in layman's terms, the way that this outdoor unit is going to perform in its most efficient way is if it's connected to only non-ducted indoor units. So what is a non-ducted indoor unit? It's a wall-mounted unit, a floor-mounted unit, a ceiling cassette unit. Units that don't require any type of duct work that could cause any form of inefficiency. Now, there's 2 other metrics. There's 2 other classifications, let's say. It's mixed, which is when you have a mixture of indoor units that are wall-mounted, ceiling cassette, floor-mounted, and a mix of maybe one ducted unit. So that's either like a horizontal ducted unit or a multi-position ducted unit. And the last classification is if you just have simply ducted. So this is going to be when you have 2 zones here on the 2-zone system, and both are going to be ducted units, either multi-position or horizontal ducted. Those are always going to be your lowest efficiency rated systems. So this outdoor unit is going to lower in its SEER 2 rating, and when you have those 2 indoor units that are ducted indoor units. So from an ENERGY STAR certification, when you have just wall-mounted or ceiling cassette or floor-mounted units connected to this, it's ENERGY STAR rated. If it's a mix of at least one non-ducted unit and a ducted unit, it's still ENERGY STAR certified. But when you have just ducted units connected to this outdoor unit, it is not ENERGY STAR certified. If you have any questions about that, you can always refer to Mitsubishi's documentation. But the easier way is if you contact us at Ductless. We'd love to be able to simplify any of that technical information down to what matters most for you. Now, if you have any questions about this MXZ-2D20NLHZ, it's the 2-zone, multi-zone outdoor unit that's built in with Hyper Heat technology. H2I is the nomenclature behind it. If you have any questions about anything that we covered or didn't cover in this video, feel free to drop a comment below. If you've used this unit or maybe you've used the 2C20NLHZ in the past, feel free to comment down below in this video. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us through Ductless.com, and a mini split expert that has many years of mini split experience, that is the only people that are authorized to speak with customers that are calling in about information about these types of outdoor units. You could always reach out to us. We'd love to be able to help. And if you're interested in purchasing this outdoor unit, it's going to be tagged in this video, as well as you can go to Ductless.com. You can browse for this outdoor unit. We're going to have a link in the description. But if you have any questions about which indoor units are compatible, which sizes are going to be the best for you, you can always use the Go Ductless builder that is on Ductless.com, or you can reach out to us at Ductless, and again, an experienced pro can help you. If you like this video, you want to see more, maybe a 2-zone is going to be the best for you, maybe you want to see a 3-zone system, you can always subscribe to our channel, Ductless USA. You can like this video, or you can continue to look out for the videos that we put out. We'd love to be able to see you on the next one.